Hello and welcome to Miseria. This is a medieval incremental game. Oh yes, it is me again with an incremental game. I know. I love them. And if you want to check this one out, there is a link in the description, wishlist it, and so on and so forth if you like what you think you see and so on. And what we're going to do is we're going to murder. As you could see right here, we have our knight here. He's going to do damage. And we are hopefully going to be able to level up reasonably well here. And you can see we've got this sort of grimdark style, very, very Diablo-esque. And look at that, we're leveling up. It's going to take a little bit of time for us to actually get anywhere because we do have... Oh, look at that, I can actually pick up some gold. That's nice. All right. This is the first time I've actually played the game, by the way, so this is the demo version. You can play too immediately, straight away, if you so desire. And indeed, what I'm gonna do is we're probably... I'm not entirely sure. Can I just go back to town at any point? Do I want to do that before I reach 0 HP, or is it my purpose to die and then you know, redo it? I'm actually just gonna kill this rat and then we're gonna go. There we go. All right, and let's go to town. There we go. Okay, I don't want to die, right? Just in case. Okay, so now we have arrived in the town once again. Well, what have we here? Another lost soul chasing whispers down the bottomless pit. I was once a smith, forging steel for fools who thought they could defy the dark below. But I shall not raise my hammer for thee. Most who descend never return. Complete the third depth and come back alive. Then perhaps I will forge. Alright. So he's obviously, well, clearly he's told us exactly what's going on there. As you can see, we could pray, but the door is closed. The door is closed. How dare you? How dare you close the door on me? So yes, obviously the blacksmith's not going to do anything for us right there. So we are just going to, we're just going to, here we go. We've got experience. Look at this. Increase the damage of basic attacks. We could do that. Increase the group's total health. Increase attack speed. Increase mana gained with each hit. Mana? I don't really have any mana right now, as far as I'm aware. And increase the damage of the special ability. Alright, so let's increase our strength and agility. Let's do agility again. I want to increase my agility a whole bunch, because I want to make sure my attack speed is super, super quick here. So I'm going to try and see if we can do that. There we go. More agility, please. Thank you. And let's pick up some more gold. So basically... the 6th depth, right? I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, to be honest, but maybe over time we will be able to do it. I mean, you can see here, this is actually not our level, by the way. The 1 is our depth. So we're currently on depth 1. That's what I've seen so far, right? So that's what I've kind of gathered from what I'm doing here. So we're doing 5 damage right now. I think my knight is about to level up, or do we have a special ability? Ah, there's the special ability. All right, okay. So that's what that does. Increase mana gain with each hit. Okay, so there we go. We died, but that's okay because we just get back up to the top here, and then we can just go right back down. Obviously, this is an incremental, so you know exactly what the deal is. Yes, you know exactly what the deal is. So what we're going to do is we could potentially level that up as well. I'm not entirely sure if I really want to do that. I think we're just going to continue leveling up strength and continue leveling up agility, and that's going to be the... that's going to be the name of the game there. Let's go for more agility here, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how we do. For me personally, one thing that I'd love to say right now, as a little bit of feedback for the developer, I'd like to see a speed up button. That's it. That's the only thing I can think of right now where I'd like to see that, because generally... I think it would be cool. I think it would be cool to have a speed up button, but obviously that is just me. Maybe you don't want that. I don't know, and that's absolutely fine. I'm perfectly happy to just relax, and we're gonna see how far we can go. Ah, there it is. All right, so we made it to depth 3. That's obviously gonna unlock the blacksmith for us, which is gonna be very, very nice. But what I've also found out is that whenever you go to another depth, you actually gain all of your HP back, which is super, super nice. Now, what I've actually also noticed is that the wording, right? The wording on your health, for example, as you can see right here, says, represents the combined health of all your party members. So that means that you're not only going to have one member of your party. You're not only going to have the knight here, you might in fact have additional people that will be joining you over time. Going to continue increasing my attack speed here. I really want to have an attack speed that is just insanely fast. That's what I want. I want there to be crazy amounts of speed coming in from our attack here. And we're going to also go for more strength as well. And we're almost at depth 4. Look at that. Almost at depth 4. So what we're going to do is just going to wait a little bit longer, just until we get a little bit lower in HP. And then I'm going to go to depth 4. Boom. There we go. Let me actually just take that gold. And there we go. Now let's move on. And as you can see, I'm basically back up to full HP. So now we can continue to do damage. Yes, we can continue to do damage. And as you can see, it's telling me to go back to town because the blacksmith obviously has something to say to us. Now the question is, do I want to do that right now or do I not? I don't know. I think what we'll do is we're going to wait a little bit here. I'm just going to increase my HP somewhat. And we're actually going to be increasing our intelligence as well a little bit because the ability to use this special a lot more often is probably pretty useful, right? I think that's probably pretty good. So we're just going to, you know, raise that a little higher. And I'm just going to get... can I go down to depth 5? I think we might be able to get to depth 5. Once we get to 5, I'm going to go back to town and then we'll see what we can do with the blacksmith. I obviously do want to get a decent amount of cash here because obviously I've got 133 gold now. So hopefully that's going to make a big difference. There we go. Nice special ability coming in right there too. And there we go. We actually made it just before we died, hilariously enough. Okay, so there you go. Now we can make our way into town. And let's have a look and see what he says. So, thou hast returned. Perhaps there is more to thee than I first believed. A stubborn spark, yet unbroken. Very well. I shall keep my word. I will forge thee something worthy of the dark thou hast faced. And what do we have? Aha! We've got gear. Yes, we've got gear. Okay, so we can obviously upgrade ourselves now. So this is pretty crazy actually, because now what we can do is we can increase the damage of our special ability, we can increase our attack speed, we can increase mana gain with each hit, increase maximum health and all that wonderful stuff. We're going to increase our damage, of course, increase our attack speed, and that's pretty much all I can do, unfortunately. 50 gold, quite expensive. And as you can see, there are 4 tabs at the top here. This tells me that there will be 4 party members in the end. I have no idea what we're going to be gaining. Obviously, I'm going to assume, let's see here. If we're going with the medieval theme, it's probably going to be knight, right? Knight, let's see, a knight, ranger / archer, some kind of thing like that. Probably a wizard of some kind, maybe a sorcerer, something like that. And then maybe a druid or a cleric or something along those lines. I think that would be pretty cool. Otherwise, yeah, so we're done with this. Can we can't access the church just yet. I have no idea what we're going to need with that. And as you can see, we start at depth 5. So that's pretty fantastic. So now we have 2 different resources to manage. And don't forget, we've also got Dark Blessing, which is used to increase our power after being reborn, which is, I assume, the Ascendance meta progression currency that we're going to be able to utilize. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Let's try and increase our strength a little bit more here. Bear in mind that your gear is percentage based, right? So the scaling for your gear is percentage based, whereas the scaling for your stats and stuff like that, I think, is a base value. Yeah, I could be wrong about that. I actually don't know. It doesn't say. So I wouldn't be able to tell you. Yes, I wouldn't be able to tell you one way or another, but I'm just going to continue increasing our strength here. And can we get to the next step before I die? I don't think I'm going to be able to. Oh, oh wow, I just literally just about made it. I think going to depth 6 is way too much for us actually, but I'm gonna see if I can maybe make something happen here. But I mean, now that we're facing spiders and stuff like that, maybe we're gonna be getting even more gold. It might be useful. Ah, we have found the church key, and this has been awarded to us on depth 7. And as you can see, it doesn't actually allow me to go any further. So what we're going to do is going to go back to town and see what's going on with the church, because we can now go inside. There we go. Oh, I love the fact that we can actually find an item that gives us access to other portions of the village. I think that's really cool. Aha, there it is. Okay, so look at this. Now we have, oh, this is crazy good. Okay, so now we have access to a skill tree. Okay, this is great. This is really, really great. Unfortunately, a lot of these skills are not available in the demo. Oh, no, that is very disappointing. But these are extremely useful, as you can quite clearly tell. Look at this. Automatically collect gold by hovering over it. Gain increased experience from defeated monsters. Both of those are going to be really, really useful for us. I'm actually unsure how we're going to really do there, but we're going to try and see what we can have happen. Maybe we'll be pretty lucky. I'm going to go for another little bit of damage. There we go. And now let's go down. I'm not sure whether... Yes, no, 7 does have some enemies on it now. And now we can... Aha, there we go. So the rebirth button is now available. I'm not sure how much we're actually going to get. I don't know how many dark blessings we're going to get for reincarnating at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a little bit longer, and then we're going to see what happens. Because right now I do feel pretty strong. I feel like I'm killing enemies relatively easily, relatively quickly. So I'm not sure. Maybe once things start to get really, really difficult, then, or shall we say, slightly more difficult, then I'm going to press the rebirth button, and we'll see how strong we can actually get. Alright, so we've reset our progress. It gave me a warning message that pretty much just said, you're about to reset your progress. You will receive 8 dark blessings. And now, as you can see, we do have 8 dark blessings, which is fantastic. So this is really, really crazy good, actually, because what we're going to do is, look at this, gain increased experience from defeated monsters. 20% is a hefty amount, which I very much appreciate. So what we're going to do is we're going to obviously get Golden Touch, because that's just crazy good. I mean, I love that. And otherwise, we're just going to be increasing the amount of experience we get by a massive, massive amount. 100%. Oh, I'm one of those people. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that really, really love leveling up relatively quickly. So there you go. Well, what have we here? Ah, yes, we've seen this. Yes. Okay, so complete the 3rd depth. Now, let's actually see, because I start with 0 gold. I start with 0 gold. Our stats are back to the way they were beforehand. I reached depth 9, by the way. I reached depth 9 beforehand. So now things are going to get very interesting, because now I'm going to have the opportunity to level up just that much quicker, and look at the amount of experience we're going to gain. Now, this time around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on strength, basically. That's what I'm going to do, because the lesser amount of swings that we can do, the better, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to pump strength as much as I possibly can, as I want to try to one-shot, or at the very least two-shot, a lot of enemies. As you can see, Golden Touch is also coming in mighty handy, because all I need to do now is mouse over the gold that drops, and it's going to be very nice, isn't it? It's going to be very, very nice. I'd like to, obviously, at some point, see later in the upgrade tree an automated way to pick up stuff, so I don't really want to... Basically, I don't want to do anything, you know, because incremental, I'd love it for all of that to be automated, but obviously it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, you know. If you want to do something, then obviously that's great, and, you know, it's all very well and good, but for me personally, I would like to see all of that be automated, as well as obviously the speed up button, like I told about, you know, like I talked about earlier. So I think a speed up button would be really, really useful too. And yeah, we're gonna see how we do. I mean, look at this. We're actually killing things really, really quickly now. As you can see, we're actually managing to kill these in 2 hits, which is exactly the reason why I wanted to basically just power level our strength as much as I possibly could. Because the more strength that I have, the easier these lower depths are gonna be. Look at how simple this is now. We can 2-shot these rats. It's gonna be extremely difficult for us to 1-shot these, I believe. But it's working out, you know, it's working out quite nicely. Let's see how far we can actually go here. It looks like we've just gotten a new visitor called the Old Man. Hello there, Old Man. Stay thy step, traveler. I am but an old alchemist, one who has spent too long chasing the secrets of life and decay. That pit is no mere grave. Something deeper stirs below.
Bring me aught that should not live nor grow, and I may yet reconsider my hesitation.
Alright, what does that mean? We don't know. But yeah, I've got 490 gold. 490 gold to spend here, and it's pretty easy. I think we know what we want to do. I'm thinking right now that we're going to just continue leveling up our weapon. The weapon is going to be extremely, extremely impactful here. I'm also going to get more attack speed. That's going to be very, very useful, and I'll get a little bit of damage reduction. I haven't really gone for damage reduction. I'm kind of going for a massive amount of offense right now, and I am at depth 11. Obviously, that's not, it's not super amazing or anything like that, but it is getting us those additional NPCs to appear. And you can see here that I'm now killing spiders in literally 2 hits, which is pretty crazy. And the skeletons, wow, the skeletons are dying really, really fast too. So this is actually the first time I've even encountered skeletons. So very, very interesting to see them actually. And we're otherwise just going to be continuing to spec into, I'm going to spec into a bunch of agility. Thank you very much. I like to get a lot of attack speed if I can. Let's try to kill this skeleton, and then we're going to go to depth 12 straight away. I found that the best way to kind of like gain rewards is just immediately going to the next depth as soon as possible, because generally what tends to happen is the gains of your gold and experience seems to be a little bit exponential from that. So I'm not sure if it actually does increase the amount of experience that you get from each kill. I haven't worked that out or anything like that, but it does feel as though you gain more gold by doing that. And I'm going to assume experience is also kind of the same thing. So that's the reason why we're just going to immediately go down to the next depth. I think that sounds like the best course of action. And indeed, I've got 128 gold right now. So let's actually see how much we get. We got about 40 for that. Or 30? Yeah. Well, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, whatever the case, I am going to just literally get... Yep, there you go. Immediately done with that. Does he drop any gold? No, he didn't drop any gold, unfortunately. But that's okay. We don't really need to worry about that. We can go down to the next depth. And I'm going to continue just getting agility here. I want to try to get as fast attack speed as possible. And obviously, I'm thinking probably depth 15 is going to be the next, shall we say, checkpoint. And maybe we're going to get what the old man wanted us to get. I have no idea whether he's going to do that. But hopefully he will. Ah, there it is. All right, so we found the strange plant, which, as I thought, was on depth 15. Let me just go for another point in agility there, another couple of points in vigor, and let's pick up the strange plant. Now we can go back to town and see what the old man has to say about it.
Oh, what is this? No, this should not be. If such life exists below, then my answer lies deeper still. Very well, I shall descend with thee.
Is he coming with us? If he comes... He is! Oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's really, really cool. So as I expected, well, as I maybe didn't expect, really, I had no idea that we were going to get some old guy joining us, but that's kind of hilarious. Okay, so he obviously has... I don't know, alchemic bottles of some kind that I guess he throws at enemies? Maybe? I actually have no idea. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to just increase my attack speed a little bit more here, increase the damage of the old man's attacks, increase his attack speed a little bit just in case, and we are now going to descend. I have no idea what this guy's all about, but as you can quite clearly tell, he is the alchemist. That's cool. I like the fact that they've gone with a, shall we say, uncommon class choice. I feel like that's really, really nice, actually, because generally what you're going to mostly see is the standard. You know what I mean? You're going to see things like, as I said earlier in the video, you're going to see things like, oh yes, wizard, archer, you know, stuff like that. But it's really, really nice that we're actually getting to see the alchemist. And let's have a look. So what are we going to do here? Increase mana with each hit. So increase the damage of the special ability. Yeah, we're probably going to do that. I'm going to stay on this level for a little bit of time, and we're just going to increase his will a massive amount there. Increase his intelligence a massive amount, if I can, as well. I want to try to increase our special damaging ability here. And obviously what I ideally want to do is I also want to get agility for him. I want to try to make sure that his agility is crazy, crazy good. So hopefully we can make that happen. I'm not entirely sure what he's gonna do when he reaches full energy, full mana. So let's see. Ah, it's an AoE. Okay, and it does 47. Really? That's it? Okay. I was kind of hoping it would do a little bit more than that, considering I had 22 in will, but yes, it seems as though that is definitely not something we want to spec into that much by the looks of things, or I just need a bunch of gold. Maybe I just need a bunch of gold to really make it, you know, super, super impactful, but that did seem a little bit undertuned, maybe. I feel like what it should do is, I don't know, like 150 damage to everything, just basically a board clear, but obviously that could be a little bit too strong, you know, it might be a bit too strong. So let's just continue increasing our intelligence here. Yeah, we are actually getting our, well, we're getting wrecked. That's it. We're getting absolutely wrecked here. Okay, let's see what happens when we get our full, boom, 47 damage. Yeah, as I said, 47 damage is really not very good in my opinion, and yeah, we didn't even make it past depth 16. That's kind of weird, actually. It's kind of weird. All right, so first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to increase the damage of our special ability with the money that we just got. So I'm going to increase that to 70%. All right, so 70%, and let's try to increase the mana gain with each hit as well. Now, because of this, I'm hopeful, because of this upgrade that we've just gotten for the alchemist, I'm hopeful that he is going to absolutely destroy everything. I mean, 70% additional damage. Obviously, it's not 100%, so I'm going to assume we're going to do about 70 damage to everything in the area, which, all intents and purposes, I feel like that's still not very good. So let's just see whether that is actually the case. I could be wrong. Let's see what happens, because I'm kind of intrigued about that. And, increases the group's total health. Yeah, we can actually do that a significant amount here. There we go. Yeah, because what that's going to do is that's going to give us 225 HP, which is obviously a lot more than normal. Let's increase our agility a little bit more. I need to make sure that he's attacking as fast as possible. Actually, I need more attack speed, to be honest. I feel like we really need to get some more attack speed for him. Yeah, so he now does 82. Yeah, as I said. So that is, in my opinion, still not good enough. Can we get to the next depth? Yes, we can. Okay, so we are now on the next depth here. Okay, so increased mana with each hit. Yes, we want to try to do as much of that as possible. And we are now at 225 HP. So this is obviously a lot easier for us. And bear in mind that, obviously, we could upgrade our armor. And I'm talking about everyone's armor. We could upgrade everyone's armor, which would probably make sense, because you can see here that it does make a difference to the entire party. So thinking about party strength, that is the biggest deal here. That is very, very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go, I might go back to depth 15. That felt like the best place to get more cash and get more experience and stuff like that, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Let's just increase my things here. Let's just increase strength a little bit as well. How much damage can he actually do with that? How much is he actually doing right there? 19? He's only doing 19 with that. Okay, yes. Well, he's not supposed to really be a person that does a massive amount of damage with with his melee attacks or with his normal basic attacks. So yeah, we're probably gonna go forward to 18, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to 15, and I'm gonna just literally stay here. I'm just literally gonna stay here for a little bit of time. We're gonna be increasing our stats of the alchemist a massive amount. I'm going to try to get even more will. As you can see, once intelligence gets to 30, or any stat gets to 30, it's exponential. The cost is actually insane in comparison, because as you can see, will is 203, whereas intelligence is 509 once you get to that level. So we're definitely going to need to do something about that, and indeed, hopefully, I'll be able to get a good amount of gold here as well. Alright, so I've returned to town. Now, we are doing massive, massive damage with the knight, by the way. We are doing so much damage with the knight that he's one-shotting most of the enemies on depth 15, so I don't really need to worry about him too much. However, what I would still like to do is I'd like to, I mean, look at this. I've got 70% additional damage with this. I'm thinking maybe what we'll do is we'll increase the mana gained with each hit to level 5. Let's get some more attack speed with the alchemist. Let's actually just go for it, like a whole bunch. Let's just get some damage resistance as well. And we got 52. What do we want? Is there anything else I can get here? I can increase maximum health. I mean, that kind of makes a bit of sense. And then we'll go forward down to depth 15 again. So these are our stats right now. We've got 280 HP. We've got some pretty nice things here. I'm actually unsure how the knight was one-shotting most of these enemies, because he actually got to a point where he was doing 300 damage. I don't know how he did that. Is there a... maybe the alchemist buffs somehow. Is there a buff that actually is applied to our people or something like that? Maybe that's the case. I'm actually not entirely sure, but whatever. We're gonna see what we can do. Let's try to... yeah, I mean, you can see here, look at the amount of... I guess the mana gain is actually kind of decent now. As you can see, the alchemist is attacking relatively quickly. And what we need him to do is we need him to just AoE as much as he possibly can. Look at that. There we go. There's some nice damage. 94 damage from that. And maybe we can get even more. It's going to literally cost me so much experience to be able to do that, though. So I'm not entirely sure if I really want to be honest. Maybe we just leave him. You know, maybe we just leave him and see what happens. I mean, we can probably make it maybe... to the, we might be able to make it to depth 20. Do you think we can make it to depth 20? I don't know. I feel like that's probably not going to happen, but we can try it out. Let's try it. Alright, so it looks as though the knight has gained this this super damage buff again. I actually have no idea how he gains this, but as you can see, he's doing 200 damage now instead of whatever he's normally doing, which is like, I think 50 or 60 or something like that. So there must be something that is being done to him by the alchemist or something like that that is enabling him to do this much damage. But yeah, whatever the case, we're just going to continue increasing our intelligence and stuff like that with our characters here, with our alchemist specifically. I'm just going to try to get as much vigor as possible. You can see here that despite the fact that I've spec'd 33 into intelligence and will, we're still only doing about 100 damage. Oh yeah, so as you can see, the knight has now returned back to normal damage. So I'm assuming that there is some kind of potentially an enrage effect that the knight has, that he tends to do some pretty significant damage, actually. Very, very nice amounts of damage. But what we're going to do, now that we're depth 22, I'm going to go for rebirth. We're going to get 21 dark blessings, and we're going to say yes to this. And now I'm not entirely sure, are we going to have the alchemist or not? I'm assuming we don't start with the alchemist. No, we don't. Okay, so let's have a look, actually. First of all, let me just go back to the town real quick, because I didn't actually spec my dark blessings, but we are going to do that now. There we go. Okay, so we have this already, obviously. We have Abyssal Hunger, we have Golden Touch. Now, what we're going to do, increase the attack damage of every single person in the party by 150%. If we can say yes, thank you very much, then I will say yes, thank you very much to that. And yeah, we now have basically everything apart from another 10% additional gold. So that is absolutely fine. Or shall we say that the chance for it to drop is increased. So now things are going to be cooking with gas. Oh yeah, now things are going to be pretty crazy, because 150% increase. I'm assuming I'm going to almost one-shot these. Yes, I am, as you can see. And I am very much looking forward to seeing what we can do once we get a little bit more experience here. And I'm basically just I'm gonna pump strength. I'm gonna pump agility as much as I can. Let's see how fast it actually is for us to get to depth 20 again. I think it's probably gonna be pretty quick. Okay, so I just got the strange plant, which means that I have now unlocked the alchemist once again. And now this time around, I've got 1500 gold. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to use the alchemist as kind of like a supplementary character here. And instead of upgrading his offensive capability, all I'm going to do is I'm going to continue pumping resources into the knight as much as I possibly can. The only thing that I'm going to do with the alchemist is I'm going to upgrade his armor, and I'm going to upgrade his HP. And that's basically all I'm going to do. The knight, on the other hand, will be continuing to increase his attack speed as well as his basic attack damage. So what we're going to do is attack speed, massive amounts here. 50% is apparently the maximum that you can get. That's fine. And we're also going to be getting his weapon upgraded. Unfortunately that I can't do more than that. That's okay. And let's get a little bit more HP here. There we go. 20% additional HP. And now we can make our way down. Now, of course, because the alchemist wasn't, I'm going to say it right now, wasn't absolutely amazing when it came to its special damage ability, which is kind of what it's leaning towards here, as you could see from its basic stats. I'm kind of thinking, you know what, I'm just going to, as I say, use him as kind of like a support character. So we're going to use his vigor. We're going to use his vigor stat, and we're going to use his, well, basically that's it. I think we're only going to level up his vigor, to be honest. We could level up his strength a little bit so that it's a small damage add, which would definitely make things maybe a little bit easier for us. But yeah, as you can see, I haven't even leveled up the knight's vigor at all. It's actually hilarious how much I've not leveled him up. But yeah, we're going to just level up his agility to 30, and then we're just going to get some vigor. Might as well. It's going to be an insane amount. As you can see, we've got 192 already. And we will probably be leveling up the alchemist's vigor in just a second as well. Obviously, as time goes on, I mean, look at this. How much damage am I actually doing? Yeah, the knight is capable of 2 to 3 shotting most of these enemies right here, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's continue increasing our vigor here a little bit as well. As you can see, we're now 19 vigor. We've got 288 HP. And I'm kind of hoping that we're going to be able to do more than that. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll level up our strength with the alchemist, and we'll just make him into a small damage add for the knight. So it's potentially possible for them to basically just duo the entire time without really using or relying on special abilities. That's kind of what I'm going for here, and obviously we're going to be farming quite a lot of gold in the process too. Let's try to get some agility with this guy. Maybe we can make him be somewhat effective with his speed as well. And we've got 1.2k gold now as well, which is actually kind of nice. So we're going to move on to depth 16, and we're going to see how far we can get. It's been about 10 minutes, by the way, to get to depth 15 since our ascension and gaining the additional buffs and things like that. Okay, so we've got 3,300 gold. I'm going to just level up our knight to the maximum damage that we have available here, and that's pretty much all I really want to do. However, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go back on what I said previously. I'm not going to spec into the special ability or the mana gain or anything like that, but what I am going to do is we're going to increase the damage that the alchemist does and increase his attack speed as well, and then we are just literally going to buff our maximum HP and the damage resistance that we have as a whole. So we're just going to do this, and there we have it. Okay, now this is going to be kind of insane because we're at depth 22 right now. I have 412 HP, 15% damage reduction, and well, I mean, things are going to go pretty crazy now because the alchemist is doing basically the exact same damage as the knight. This is the reason why I wanted to build them both as auto-attacking characters, because as you remember, or as you may remember from earlier in the video, the damaging ability, right, the damaging AoE ability only did about 100 damage when we had him maxed out, pretty much. When we had him maxed out with intelligence and so on and so forth. Well, not maxed out, but you know what I mean. We had a significant amount in those stats. And it didn't really do much. It felt to me like it didn't really do as much as it potentially could have or should have. So I decided, yeah, you know what? Let's try to do this instead. And in my opinion, this is much more effective. Look at what we have going on here. Look at this. I can immediately clear a depth. I can clear a depth in about, what, 10, 15, 20 seconds, depending on the amount of mobs, obviously. But yeah, it feels to me like this is a lot better. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but we can now actually start. I'm going to just get vigor to 30. Might as well just get vigor to 30, get vigor to 30. There we go. We now have 532 HP. We're gaining a significant amount of gold at the same time now that we are at this depth. And indeed, look at this. Boom, there you go. Back onto the next depth already. And I believe, there we go. Now we can just move on. Ah, it's a boss. Oh, okay, hello. Well, this is going to be kind of interesting because I feel like we are actually really, really strong right now. So I highly doubt he's going to really be able to do anything. I'm just going to level up my strength and agility a little bit more with the knight. Because he's the guy that's going to do... Well, actually, it's funny because the alchemist does seem to be doing quite a bit of damage himself. So I don't know whether I really need to, you know, say that the alchemist doesn't really do much. But he is actually doing some pretty nice damage. So pretty happy with that. And there you go. So there's the boss. He's already dead. And that's it. Oh, no. Oh, no, come on. I wanted to play more. Oh, well, never mind. Thanks for playing the demo version of Miseria. Miseria? See, that's what I don't. Miseria. I'm going to go with that. Anyway, in the full version, you'll face more enemies, meet new playable characters, and unlock dark powers. If you enjoyed it, please wishlist the game. And indeed, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really, really fun. As I said, I'd love to see a little speed up button, you know, ×2 or 3 times the speed, just to save a little bit of time here and there, and to speed up the progression somewhat. And obviously, I just want to see more of everything. That's it. I just want to see more of everything. I would also like to see the alchemist's special ability, or at the very least, special abilities in general, do more damage. I'd love to be able to see that as well. Otherwise, yeah, you can check out the game. You can wishlist it through the link in the description. You can play the demo as well if you so desire. And otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.